One of the biggest reasons I started this channel to review laptops is to find a MacBook Pro equivalent in the Windows laptop world. Guys, I think I finally find another one, which is the latest 2026 Dell XPS 14 and XPS 16. Dell is not always my thing. It sometimes brings out pretty creative designs, but it also does weird design choices. And some of their new products are coming with some low spec, old parts, and some of their pretty mediocre laptops are asking for the very high-end laptop prices. The Dell XPS lineup are always been about elegant designs. However, their last generation XPS have a few very questionable design choices. For example, they have no visible trackpad. Sometimes it's a little difficult to find the edges of the trackpad and may cause some confusion. And also, they have touch function keys. And one of the touch function keys is the escape keys. I mean, it's okay if you don't make it a bigger key than the rest of the function keys, but to make it a touch key, it's just not practical. However, Dell is still holding 15% of the global PC market, which is pretty substantial. And this time for the new XPS 2026, I think Dell has finally done something really great, and I have some really great first impressions on this new XPS 2026 from the news, from the reviews. First of all, the physical function keys are finally back. It's great. Dell is hearing the feedbacks from its users, its customers. And also you can notice there is a visible edge on the trackpad, on the borders of the trackpad, making it visible, and it reduces confusion and increase the precision of using the trackpad. The Dell XPS 2026 comes in with two sizes. One is the 14-inch, one is 16-inch. They're both very thin and light, especially the 16-inch. It weighs just 1.65 kilograms, about 3.65 pounds. And of course, the XPS 14 is lighter, weighs at 1.36 kilograms, and both of them have a thickness of 14.6 millimeters. The footprint of the 14-inch XPS 2026 is significantly smaller than MacBook Pro 14. Dell claims that the XPS 14's footprint is even smaller than MacBook Air 13.6-inch. Well, it's technically true. Its depth is lower than the MacBook Air 13, but it also is slightly wider. Notice that the MacBook Air 13-inch, the screen is a taller screen, so the actual view area of these two screens are very, very close. And this time, both the XPS 14 and 16-inch laptops have the screen option of a Tandem OLED, and they're both 120 Hz display. If you like fast refresh display, you won't be disappointed this time, which is great. It's a little surprising to me. The Tandem OLED displays on these two new XPS laptops have a 400 nits typical brightness and a 500 nits peak brightness for SDR. It's even lower than some of the brighter non-tandem OLED display, which is a little strange. One explanation is Dell is optimizing for the longevity and efficiency rather than boosting the peak brightness from these screens. I know Lenovo Yoga 16 Pro, they have a typical brightness from their tandem OLED displays of about 1000 nits and the peak HDR brightness of 1600 nits, which is much higher than these tandem OLED displays on the XPS 14 and 16. Regarding the refresh rate, we just mentioned they're both high refresh rate, up to 120 Hz, and the LCD version has a 1 to 100 Hz dynamic refresh rate, and the OLED one has a 20 to 100 Hz dynamic refresh rate, which is great. It's supposed to be more power efficient than a fixed refresh rate. However, I sometimes prefer to just fix to the highest refresh rate just to get the most smooth Windows experience, especially for the animations and transitions. Regarding the CPU and GPU, both of the laptops have Intel Core Ultra 300 series, the latest Panther Lake CPUs, and they have up to Ultra X9 388H CPU. Of course, they also provide Ultra 5 and Ultra 7 options. But this time, there's no discrete GPU options for these XPS laptops. They only have the integrated Intel GPUs. For lightweight gamings and non-GPU intense applications, this is more than enough. But just notice that there's no discrete GPU options this year for the XPS laptops. And I'm glad that they have up to 64 gigabytes of RAM options this year rather than Lunar Lake, which is capped by its hardware limitations to 32 gigabytes. And the frequencies of these memories has also been increased to 9600 megahertz, which is a welcome change. And this is the first time for any laptops that comes with a carbon silicon batteries. Both of them are 70 watt hours. Dell claims they have up to 27 hours of streaming time. We'll see what the real battery lives are when we get our hands on one of the laptops and run our benchmarks. And from the video clips of the webcams performance of these laptops, it seems to be a pretty big update. And the microphone quality also seems to be very good. Regarding the ports, this year the Dell XPS comes with 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports. It's fine considering how thin and light, how premium this laptop is built, but it will be great if it has at least one USB port. From the speaker tests, I think the speakers are very loud and the sound seems also very rich, but it feels like the MacBook Pro 14 still has a cleaner sound compared to Dell XPS.
Are you still mine? No one ever married, no.
Okay, so conclusion. The design of the 2026 XPS are really appealing to me. I think there's going to be some true competition between this one and the MacBook Pros. I think Dell is targeting the premium Windows users who are locked into the Windows ecosystem or who don't want a MacBook. Maybe they're not really the MacBook Pro equivalent in every aspect, but at least from the design and aesthetic perspective, and from the screen, from the speaker and webcam, and hopefully also from the power efficiency, this is a true MacBook Pro equivalent or competitor in the Windows laptop world. If you like the content of this video, please subscribe. It will help me grow this channel and hands on more laptops to bring out more reviews for you.